which can be generated again and again. Then, though it is a renewable, we had a big question in our mind that is it really a renewable? Because there's always a question arising as save this resource. So, as a word save came, so we should ponder on this question, is really a water renewable? Though it is a renewable, still we have a problem. And the problem is what we have at the water resource is the water scarcity is a problem of water resource. And to understand the water scarcity, we have to understand two aspects. One was a quantitative, that is amount of water available. And next we have qualitative, that is what good quality is the water available. So these are the two aspects of water scarcity. And we also learned about the reasons why we have a shortage of water in the world. That is because of population. Then you have advanced agricultural methods. Then we have the rainfall is not accurate, it's not happening as per the seasons, and there is a difference in annual rainfall. And finally, because of the growth of industrialization and urbanization, rapid growth of these two things, there is a shortage of water. Then we also dealt with the why is the water available on this earth is not of good quality. The reason is also again the humans, because we are adding up a lot of chemical pesticides and fertilizers to the land, and that is washing away to the nearby water bodies. And also we're also dumping the liquid waste which is coming out of the houses as well as industries into the water bodies. So these two factors are reducing the good quality of the water. Then we also saw why should we conserve water, because only when we have a good water we'll have a healthy life. We can ensure that food accessibility, availability and affordability happens in a country. Then we also saw for a smooth running of our life we need a water. And finally, not only for us to survive, even for the other animals or other living creature also to survive, we need the water. So these are the need for us to conserve the water. And the option we have come up to conserve the water is building of dams and tanks. And this is not a new concept. It is being done from age old time, from an ancient time. One example of ancient dams constructed, you have a Grand Anicut or Kalani, that is in Tamil Nadu region, is this the oldest one. Then you have other small tanks constructed. When you have in Allahabad, one you have in Bhopal, then you have in Delhi. So these are the different uh, um, tanks or of dams which was constructed even before the modern India. So till here we had done in the last class, children. Any questions you have till here?
No, ma'am.
Okay, now we'll just move on to our next topic, that is what are the uses of a modern dam, or one more word is what are the uses of multi-purpose river projects. So this is a two words we can say, uses of a dam or multi-purpose river project. So first uses you have here I've given as a irrigation is the first one. I think the meaning of irrigation you already know it. Meaning of irrigation, anyone?
Watering the crops.
Watering plants.
Okay, the watering the plants or the agriculture, watering the agricultural field. As you know, your India is totally depend on your monsoon. Most of your farmers depend on the monsoon rain, and if the monsoon rain is well, they can grow. Otherwise, if it fails, there is a problem. So even during the failures of the monsoon, you have these dams provide water for irrigation. And also, as you know, monsoon doesn't happen in our country throughout the year, but for plants they need water throughout the year, no children. So if you have a dam tries to accumulate the water, and throughout the year they try to release the water so that it can be any type of a crop, like whether your farmer is growing a kharif crop or a rabi crop or a zayat crop. Each crop, as you know, has a seasons, but rain doesn't happen all it happens in all the season. So to provide the water throughout the year, dams are constructed, and the water is stored when you have heavy rain or when you have a good rain. And throughout the year they try to let the water to fill the agricultural land. The first use of a multi-purpose project is it provides water for the farming field or the crops what the farmer has grown is the first uses. Second is it helps in the electricity generation. Already I told you in our previous topic that in India 22 percentage of the electricity is generated from water. What is that electricity called? Whenever electricity is generated from water, what is that type of electricity called?
Hydroelectricity.
Hydroelectricity.
22 percentage of electricity is generated from hydro, that is the water. So dam also helps us because, as you know, dam stops the water, and when you open the gates of the dam the force is very fast. As a result it helps in the generation of more and more electricity. So that is the second use. So you can generate electricity throughout the year. Again, this is also rivers also don't flow throughout the year, but when you have a dam, open the gates, you can also generate the water. So you can generate the electricity little by little throughout the year. So it's the second use. Third is domestic and industrial use. Domestic is nothing but, what is the meaning of domestic use? Feeding domestic animals, huh?
Ma'am,
Household use.
household purposes.
Yeah,
Household
for
purposes.
household purposes. Yeah, as you know, every day, and if you take your Bangalore, okay, Bangalore totally depends on your Kaveri water. And you know, the Kaveri water, you have a lot of water is stored in our KRS dam in our Mysore. So that is also the water is stored there and released little by little, so that throughout the year, in houses, whoever doesn't have other facilities like borewell water, okay, they can utilize this dam water. So that is also the domestic purpose for washing, cleaning, bathing, all the different purposes, a domestic purpose. Then industrial also we have learned that many industries, as you mentioned last class, the textile industry depends on it. Big huge machine industries, to cool their motors they use, to cool their machines they use the water. So like this, even dams are useful because they supply the water throughout the year for household as well as industrial purpose. It is a third use. Third thing, for a fourth thing, it also helps in the flood control. But as you know, when do you usually have the problem of floods, children? Is it a throughout the year?
No, heavy rain.
Yeah, but during the monsoon season, as you learned in our last class only, okay, the monsoon is not so proper. It is not happening seasonally. Few years it is happens before the month also, and for few months no rain, few months heavy rain, and always you're seeing the flood happening in your Chennai region, so many even in your North India, Bengal region. So such times what you can do is that how the dam helps, so that it helps us to collect the water in the dams, so that not much water flows into the river. But there is a conditions apply for this point, it is flood control, that we learn again in your next topic. Is really dam controlling the flood? So that is a big question coming. But for few percentage, dams are helping to control the flood, especially in your South Indias. Whenever you have very heavy rainfall, dams try to accumulate the water. As a result, it helps the nearby region not get flooded with the river water or the rainwater. So that is the next use, it controls the flood. Then the fifth one is dams also helps in recreation. What is the meaning of this word, children? Recreation.
Tourism and sports and
Yeah, it's something like entertainment. Yeah, it also gives us entertainment. For example, you have many a place you have boating happens, rafting happens. Okay, rafting to happens in a river, but you have any other recreation you can tell about where near the dams children happens?
Kayaking.
Kayaking happens. Okay,
Bungee jumping.
bungee jumping on water. Can you do just jumping on water, children? Yeah.
No, ma'am.
even,
No, ma'am.
even the fishing also can be an entertainment, children. So fishing also you can do it on the banks of the river, or the banks of the dams, or nearby the river. So like
Ma'am,
this you have,
swimming.
Yeah, even the tourist also, like yeah, somebody told tourist attraction also, we can have it. So
And swimming
because
also.
you whenever you have a dam water collected, you have something called as backwaters. Heard about backwaters, children?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
And backwaters are famous for like tourist places. So even if, for example, if you, I think Kerala has a lot number, but if you take your in Karnataka on the way to Mysore, okay, heard about this Ranganatittur bird sanctuary near
Yes, ma'am.
Srirangapatna?
Yes, ma'am.
Heard about that, children? As the way to Mysore, there's a Srirangapatna. That is where you have Tipu Sultan was ruling. Now, if you go to that place, there is one bird sanctuary, that is Ranganatittu bird sanctuary. Now,
Yes, ma'am.
the bird sanctuary is located on the backwaters of your Kaveri river. That is your KRS Dam is there, no? Krishnaraja Sagar Dam in your Mysore. Now that water is backwater. Now that is one of the important tourist places. Because of that backwaters, you have many birds also taking shelter. That is also one example I want to give you for recreation. It can be a sports activity, or it can be like a holiday place also. So dams, and even you see people also go and visit Kiara's Dam. It has become a tourist place also.
Yes,
So that
ma'am.
is what I meant as dams also results in many recreation activities. So that is also use of a dam, because when you have recreation, you have money accumulation. That is, people come pay money to visit. So it is also a economic activity where you can earn money. Dams also helps in earn money. That is the meaning of recreation. Next, you have inland navigation. What is the meaning of navigation?
Direction.
Navigation. Any other word in navigation meaning, children? Yeah, direction is one word. Something related to
Location.
geography, location. Okay, here navigation is nothing but you travel through water. Okay, which means you use your boats or small ships or handmade one, and you do. Now, inland is within. Okay, that is within that river. Now, for example, if you take a river, can you travel on a river which is flowing? Is my question. Using a boat,
Ma'am, we
can you?
can't travel, but kayaking happens on rivers only, ma'am.
But that is not as a traveling. I'm talking about you move for purposes like job, or you go for a place or trading. Such activity I'm talking about.
That
No,
only,
ma'am.
ma'am. It doesn't happen. It only
It
happens in
doesn't happen
oceans.
because the water is a flowing water. But you can also do such activity when you have a dams, because as you know, dam is it a dam a stagnant water?
Yes,
No,
ma'am.
ma'am. It keeps floating. It's not
Stagnant.
stagnant water. It's not stagnant, ma'am.
If you close up the gates of the dam, is it not held? The water is not stored and held. As a word, storing is only a
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
dam.
ma'am.
You're
Ma'am, but
holding
when
the
the water,
water.
when it goes inside the dam, ma'am, when the water keeps flowing through the dam, that time it's not
When
stagnant.
you open the gate, it is there. But most of the time, dams are mainly constructed so that you store water, and only when it is required, they open the. They don't open the gates. If you go to this Keras Dam during summers or some season, they don't open the gates throughout the year. Okay, so somewhere the water is not flowing with the force. So as a result, what you can do is that you can use that water, stagnant water, for movement of play from one place to another. You can move. So your inland navigation means moving within the region using a small boats or something. That is called as inland navigation. That is, people can move from one region to other region through your small boats or something. So that is called as inland navigation, children. Now, it is not so much in our South India, but if you go to your North India, it is a lot. They do, especially if you go to your Bengal region, you have Hooghly River, all no children. Okay, so Bengal
Yes,
region,
ma'am.
most of your North India, you go, a lot number of people also travel on waters, like how we have roadways and airways or railways. People also travel on the waterways. Now, within the country you travel, or inside the country, it is called as inland. Only when you go outside the country, oceans and seas, you call only, it's called as overseas. It is one more way of traveling. So dams also helps, because no water means you cannot travel. So dam helps in inside the country to move from place to place through you by using the waterways. So that is what is the meaning of the word inland navigation. And finally, the use of a dam is fish breeding. That is, people also have also started the breeding of one particular fishes within the dam. So you can also, because if it is a moving water, then whatever fishes you try to breed, it can move away with the water, flow away with the water. But as I said, dam can be that's a place of storage. You can also try to multiply the number of fishes which is favorable for that climate or that temperature, and that can also become a business. So these are the different so you have 7 uses of the multi-purpose project. Is it clear with this uses, children?
Ma'am.
Yeah, is it clear with this, everybody? Uses of the multi-purpose project. Any
Yes,
questions
ma'am.
you have? Okay, so this is what you have. Mostly this question will come for 5 marks. So uses of the project. Now I'll just want to give you a few examples, okay? Examples of the dam. Can you see the first one? The biggest dam in our India. So which is the biggest dam in our India?
TEHRI dam.
TEHRI Dam on Bhagirathi River. Now, where is each one's location? You'll go to the next one. At least you should know the names of the dams. There's so many dams. Next slide, I'll be showing the map of your India with the dams. But this is for general knowledge. 3 important: the biggest, highest, and the longest. So biggest is a TEHRI Dam. Then the highest dam in our India is
Bhagra Dam on Sutlej
okay.
River.
Okay, Bakra. That is Bakra Nangal Dam. Heard about Bakra Nangal Dam?
Yes, ma'am.
So
Yes,
that is
ma'am.
on the Sutlej River. You have that is the highest dam in our country. And finally, the longest dam in our country is
Hirakud.
Hirakud Dam on
Hirakud.
Mahanadi River. So these are the few examples to give you of the dams, the biggest, the highest, and the longest. So these are the few dams constructed in our country. Now, apart from this, there are also so many dams. So this is what you may also have in your exam as map pointing. You have to learn few important dams of the world. Now this is what you have. Can you see the red rectangular shaped blocks, children, on the map? Now these
Yes, ma'am.
are the important dams of our India. Okay, and below that dam also I have given the river name, so it also helps you to know which dam is constructed on which river. So this also can be the thing. So we spoke about spoke about Hirakud Dam. So here you have in Mahanadi, that is Hirakud Dam. Then we learned about Bakra Nangal. So it comes here. And which was one more, children, we learned?
TEHRI dam.
TEHRI Dam. Anybody can identify TEHRI Dam anywhere? Yeah? Not mentioned?
Ma'am, it is not there.
No, their children?
Ma'am, in the textbook it's there, ma'am.
Yeah?
In the textbook it's there.
Which place, dear?
Ma'am, near the north, next to Nepal.
Okay, TEHRI Dam. That is very near to Bakra Nangal only, if you see.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, yeah, so it's very near to your Bakra Nangal. That is which state it comes under? Is it in Uttarakhand?
Uttarakhand.
Yeah.
Uttarakhand.
Yes, ma'am.
So there comes, so these are the things. So when we get back to our class, we'll any dam of South India to mention, children, to identify South Indian dams? Yeah.
Kaveri, ma'am.
That is, you have on Kaveri
Krishna.
River, you have that KRS Dam. The same Kaveri River flowing to Tamil Nadu. What is that dam called as? Anybody?
Periyar.
No, I'm not talking about Kerala. I'm talking about Tamil Nadu. Periyar is Kerala. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mettur, ma'am.
Mettur.
Mettur Dam. That's why always whenever you hear this Kaveri problem, there's always this problem with this Mettur Dam and a KRS Dam. So always conflict happens here. So these are the important dams. This is just for your knowing. So this is the examples. I'll just share with you this slide. Then we will move on to the next topic, that though the dams are constructed for many uses or for many purposes, in reality, who are the people who are really benefiting? So that is what is our next topic. Is a multi-purpose project is helping all the people of the country, is a big question mark. But if you see in reality, it is no. The multi-purpose project are only helpful for few people like the landowners, Okay, then you have the large farmers, landowners. I'm talking about this big zamindars or the rich people in the village side, and I'm talking about large farmers are utilizing it. Then industrialists, that is to generate, because the industrialists are getting electricity from that, so they are benefiting, and the urban areas are benefiting from the multi-purpose project. So this is a real use going for whom all is the use of multi-purpose project is going to only these number of people. And because of this, you have next big question arising is really multi-purpose project really a useful project? But if you see in reality, there is a lot of drawbacks on the construction of the dam. So this is also a next 5-mark question. Why should we scrutinize the construction of a dam, or why multi-purpose projects have come under great controversy? Okay, this is what is our next topic, that is disadvantages of dam construction. Is it clear, children? The next one. So it is the drawbacks of the dam construction. So till now we saw the uses. Now we'll move on to the drawbacks. First thing is regulating and damming of river affect their natural flow. That is, as I told you, the dams stops the river water flowing. So it is nothing but you are doing something against the nature. You agree with this point, children?
Yes, ma'am.
As you know,
Yes,
as a
ma'am.
nature says, a river should get birth on a higher plateau, that is, or a mountain or a higher region, flow throughout the region, and it has to end with a sea or a ocean. But what are we doing because of a dam? We are stopping the river water flowing. So this is nothing but you are going against the nature flow. And when you stop it, what's happening? You just see the next line you have. It is causing poor sediments flow and excessive sediments at the bottom of the reservoir. I think you might have learned river brings the most fertile, river brings a lot of silt and fertility with them as they flow. Yeah, that only creates in the development of alluvial soil. Now, when you stop the river flow, which means you're not only stopping the water, even the sediments and the fertility what the river is bringing also you're stopping. So when the dam is constructed, door is closed, the sediments and silt is also stopped. Now, day by day, it is accumulating in the bottom of the reservoir. That is, you have the reservoir, you have that compound. Within that uh, dam, you're getting accumulated. So this is the first thing. So if you stop it, then obviously you'll not get any alluvial soil or sediments to the banks of the river. So this is one disadvantage of having a dam. It stops the natural flow of sediments and fills within the bottom of the reservoir only. So I think the best example I can give you is if you happen to go on your top of your house to see that syntax tank, children, after 1 month or 2 months, is there any sediments accumulated on your syntax tank on the top, or is the bottom very clear, clean and clear?
Accumulation is
Sediments are
there.
You can see
accumulated,
some
ma'am.
accumulation within 1 or 2 months only. And imagine the quantity of water in a reservoir. So how much of sediments it can be accumulated. So this is also one negative thing. Because of dams, you're stopping the sediments moving away and you're just accumulating in the reservoir. So this is the one thing. And you're also damaging a reservoir also, children. If more and more silt is accumulated, then it will not give space for water. You're able to understand, children? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
For
Yes,
much
ma'am.
bottom, then the water storing capacity will reduce. So this also you can add up as one more disadvantage. More sediment. That's why often your government should take initiative to how you clean your syntax tank or over tank. Like that even this government should do. But as you know, dams are so huge, so much of cost. So there is a challenge again for the government to do it. So that can be your first disadvantage. Second disadvantage, it controls the migration of aquatic fauna. Okay, now does even the fishes move from river to ocean as well as